Hello there, I hope you're doing okay in these challenging and surreal times. I met many of you at last year's Birdfair, and we wouldn't have believed that this year's would be a virtual one because of the pandemic. For the first time in my career, I haven't been able to do any foreign filming in 2020, but I do have wondrous memories of filming in Central America last year. This is Honduras. My guides were Katinka and William from Beaks and Peaks. I loved the country so much, I'm returning for a wildlife holiday in 2022.
There is an American pygmy kingfisher.
Oh yes,
That's a lovely look.
this is the fantastic Lake Yahoa. Beaks and Peaks will take us on a boat trip here. Over 400 species of birds have been recorded on and around the lake. A fork-tailed flycatcher.
I see the leaves moving. He's on his way.
So unconcerned by us. Yellow-breasted snatch charming crate. This little bird is no bigger than a sparrow. What an encounter. This is the best place in Honduras to see these birds.
Above El Cedral, we'll climb into the cloud forest to meet a mythical creature.
Nigel, there's a quetzal over there.
Oh, yes. He's looking right at us. A resplendent quetzal, surely one of the loveliest birds in the world. Oh, that's magnificent. I love the way the green feathers on the wing extend onto the breast just like fingers.
In the lowland rainforest, there's other specials.
This is what Rio Santiago Nature Resort is famous for. A margay. She's so relaxed around humans because she was orphaned, reared as a tiny kitten, then returned to the wild. She's 4 years old now, but still visits the lodge every 3 or 4 days.
Nigel, come here. There are spectacled owls.
Thanks, Alex. There's a chick too.
Spectacled owls, the endemic Honduran emerald, wine-throated hummingbirds, scarlet macaws and the famous Maya site of Copan. If you want to fly away with me to Honduras in 2022, check out my website, nigelmarven.com. In Honduras, I was filmed with the president of the country. That was a first for me. I didn't talk about politics with President Hernandez, but we did talk about conservation. He's a president who's a bird watcher, and he showed me an endemic hummingbird. And head further west to Gracias. The town's exquisite Merced church dates from the 17th century and is one of the oldest churches in Honduras. In the town square, I meet William Orellana from Beaks and Peaks to watch a traditional dance. Guanasco dance symbolises friendship between neighbouring communities.
Bye-bye.
Gracias is where both William and President Hernandez were born. The president wants to show me a unique Honduran, so we meet on the farm where he grew up.
Beautiful country.
It is. It is.
What a lovely place to grow up.
Yes. I remember when I was little here.
See if we can see our target.
You know, it's a hummingbird.
It's the Honduran emerald.
That's the one we're looking for. Well done, President Hernandez.
You know, when I was little, we saw this bird, but we didn't know it was an endemic species for Honduras until recently. He showed the bird to me.
The only endemic bird to Honduras, so a very special one, not found anywhere else in the world.
Yeah, it is.
He's away. Thank you, William.
Okay.
You promised you'd show me the Honduran emerald. Thank you for letting us look on your property.
Thank you, William.
Amazing.
Okay.
Thanks, President Hernandez. There's a snake. Hey! Did you know these were on your property, President? Look at this. It's a brown vine snake. It's warning you.
It is.
It's extraordinary how black it is inside the mouth.
It is.
That's to startle predators. These snakes are harmless to humans. They have got venom, but the fangs are right in the back of the mouth, under the eye. Have a feel, because he feels lovely because he's been basking in the sun.
Yeah, it is warm.
Look, he's watching your every move, President Hernandez. Oh, dear, he had a little pop at you then. Don't do that to the president. That's naughty. I can't believe it. Honduran emerald and a lovely vine snake. You have wonderful wildlife here in Honduras.
I've certainly enjoyed this brown vine snake.
Thank you.
That was a great morning, wasn't it? One of the documentaries in the series is Wild Guatemala. It's an extraordinary country and safe to visit nowadays. The logistics were set up by Bitty Ramirez of Guatemala Nature. I will never forget my visit there. Volcanoes tower above a lake that's 240 meters deep, the deepest in Central America. I'm in Guatemala on one of the world's most beautiful lakes, Lake Atitlan. Many Guatemalan landscapes are dominated by volcanoes. The country has 37, including 3 that are still active. As well as incomparable physical beauty, Guatemala has astounding wildlife. On my adventures here, I'll meet a majestic lizard with a venomous bite and be serenaded by black howlers. I'll climb the world's most massive pyramid and scale a waterfall to meet a stunning palm viper. I'm astounded by a lizard. That was brilliant. Startled by a crocodile and witness the Earth's subterranean power. Guatemala is in the north of Central America. Lake Atitlan lies in the southwest highlands. I visit nearby Los Torales. We've just spent a brilliant couple of days filming for Wild Guatemala here at Los Torales, which is near the beautiful Lake Atitlan. The food is spectacular, the best pizzas that I've ever had. There's a guide based here called Freddie. He can show you everything, including horned guans and the rare azure-rumped tanager. We filmed black and white owls with him.
There's the owl. 2 of them.
Unmistakable. A pair of black and white owls. The feeders are alive with colourful neotropical birds. Los Torales is managed for conservation. The big trees have been left standing. The young coffee plants are shaded by native trees, and that means an abundance of birds. There's orioles and white-bellied chachalacas. Today, a golden-fronted woodpecker is a banana pecker instead. The king of the feeders, a lessons motmot. He fiercely takes on all comers and sees off an oriole. The yellow-throated euphonias are charming.
Baltimore orioles nest in the US and spend the winter here.
Orioles squabbling over the fruit.
An adult Baltimore bullies the browner juveniles.
So if you want to spend a relaxing couple of days and see some brilliant wildlife, come to Los Torrales in Guatemala.
Wow, that's some bird table. Guatemala has some extraordinary birds. To film 2 of them, we travelled to the northwest of the country on the Mexican border and climbed a volcano near the town of Sibinal. At this farm, I've arranged to meet guide Daniel Aldana. We've a long hike ahead.
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
As if to remind us, someone is cracking the whip. Whip cracking is the traditional way to herd sheep and goats here. Rising above us, these steep forested slopes are home to horned guans.
There's one in the open.
What a horned guan. This bird is really rare. There's only about 1,000 of them left. Horned guans are only found in a small part of the world. Guatemala is their stronghold, but there's a few in Chiapas, Mexico. This is an adult. The youngsters don't have that extraordinary horn on their head. Nobody's quite sure why they have them. I'm with my great friend, Daniel Aldana. He's a brilliant bird guide, and we have just seen
The horn guan.
which is a Guatemalan national treasure. It's a brilliant bird. Everyone must come here to see it.
It's a gorgeous bird there. It was my pleasure, Nigel. We saw a lot of other really cool birds here also. Oh, look, in the pine, pink-headed warbler.
Oh, yes. What a little stunner. A real special.
Yeah, you know, they're only found in the highlands of Guatemala and a little tiny spot in Mexico.
Such a pretty bird. I can't take my eyes off it.
Pink-headed warblers and horned guans are top birds. Guatemala also has some outstanding Maya sites. We visited the ruins at Yaxar, which are rich in wildlife. Sebastian from the El Sombrero Hotel was our guide. He said sleeping in the ruins was an extraordinary animal. We had to film that. Today I'm exploring Yaxar, a Maya city named after the lake it overlooks. In its heyday, more than 1,500 years ago, nearly 50,000 people lived here. Then, just like Tikal, the metropolis was abandoned. Yaxar has 9 temple pyramids and many stelae, ornate sculpted stones.
As well as preserving these wondrous archaeological sites, Guatemala's Mayan Biosphere Reserve also protects vast areas of habitat, so these ruins are great places to look for wildlife.
The reserve, a fifth of Guatemala's land area, is the most important expanse of rainforest north of the Amazon.
Those tremendous roars reverberate around many of the Mayan ruins. Somewhere in the treetops, there's a troop of Guatemalan black howlers. There's movement just there.
This is their calling card for neighbouring troops. It's not just males that howl, the whole family joins in. Even babies attempt to roar. Howlers can be heard from several kilometres away. The howlers move off. They have small territories, around 6 hectares square, so this troop will see the Maya ruins every day of their lives. Exploring Yashar is a new experience for me, though. Now I'm following a tip-off. One of the park rangers has told me there's a marvellous mammal that lives in this part of the ruins here. It's one that I've never seen before. I hope it's at home. It's meant to be on a beam just along here. And here he is. A Mexican tree porcupine. They usually spend the day in a hollow tree, but the shade of an ancient ruin is perfect too. This one has come here to sleep day after day. He'll come out at night to feed on seeds, fruits and leaves. He's got a prehensile tail, just like howler monkeys, for climbing in the trees. What a magical moment. I leave the porcupine to experience the sunset. Now I'm a real fan of Mexican tree porcupines. Another superb location in Guatemala is Guacamayas Jungle Lodge. We had so much to film there, crocodiles, frogs and monkeys. I didn't have time to see some of the special birds. I'm going back in 2021 with a guide to see grey-throated chats, Yucatan porwheel, Yucatan flycatchers and black-throated shrike tanager. Guacamayas Lodge has superb food. It's a brilliant place to stay. The San Pedro River is the gateway to Las Guacamayas Biological Station. A base in the rainforest for scientists and eco-tourists, Las Guacamayas has been supported by the Berger family for the last 15 years. Buenos dias, I'm Nigel.
Buenos dias, I'm Renee.
Hi, good morning.
Francois, welcome Nigel.
Thank you
Hello,
very
Nigel,
much.
I'm Mimi. Berger, nice to meet you.
It was a beautiful boat ride in. How much area do you protect here?
We have about 5,700 hectares.
This sanctuary is named after the endangered birds it was set up to protect. Guacamayas is the Spanish name for scarlet macaws. There's around 400 here. This northern subspecies has more blue in the wings than scarlet macaws from South America. The trees in the garden are a haven for collared arasaries. This one watches me and Roland Griffin, a scientist who studies reptiles and amphibians here. He's an expert on a cold-blooded cannibal that hangs out at the end of the jetty.
Look, Nigel.
Oh, yes! This is the cannibal. Larger crocs eat smaller ones. Only the second time I've seen a Morlitz crocodile.
He's a big croc. He's 3.5 to 4 meters long. We've done a few years working with them along this river.
And you can identify individuals. How do you do that?
The shape of the scales and the pattern on those scales on the back of the neck are unique, like a fingerprint. So we can take photographs of them from above, and then we can match those photographs to the individuals that we know.
They were becoming rare. How are they doing here now?
There's been a really big comeback. A survey that we did over a 20-kilometre stretch of this river, we found 120 individuals. It's been a real conservation success story.
Thanks, Roland.
You're welcome.
Hey, turtle!
We never expected to find one of these. It's a critically endangered species, a Central American river turtle.
The Guatemalan city of Antigua is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's a beautiful place ringed by volcanoes. We hiked up one of them to see lava flowing from the top. Nearby, Finca El Pilar has a special hummingbird I just had to see. From the Petén region, I travelled to a more modern city in the south of Guatemala, Antigua. The city of Antigua is a World Heritage Site, renowned for its Spanish colonial buildings. I pass beneath the famous Santa Catarina Arch, which dates back to 1794. The Baroque La Merced Church was completed in 1767. It still has the original decorative facade. This beautiful city is surrounded by volcanoes and forested mountains. The highest is home to the cute lizard I've come to see. It's found in Finca El Pilar, a reserve owned by Juan Rivera's family. Juan, El Pilar is a magical place and it's so close to Antigua.
Yes, we're very proud of our wildlife, so go and check the hummingbird feeders.
Thank you very much. There's a special hummer here. El Pilar is the best place in the world to see a kind of hummingbird that I've never seen before. There's one on the feeder now, a rufous saberwing. It's only found in a narrow strip from southern Mexico through Guatemala to El Salvador. It sips sugar water with a Rivoli's hummingbird. They both give way to an incoming violet saberwing, the largest hummer here. Panama is the most southerly country in the South American isthmus. It's famous for its canal, but it also has fabulous wildlife, and it's the best place in Central America to see the fabulous harpy eagle. Miraflores Locks, a marvel of engineering. I'm in Panama, a country famous for its canal, the world's greatest shortcut, but it also has extraordinary wildlife and wonderful people. Top naturalists and indigenous groups. I'll meet eye-popping frogs and snappy snakes. Whoa, dear. Charming babies, rufty-tufty eagles and gentle giants. Panama is the southernmost nation in Central America. The capital, Panama City, is in the center of the country. We were helped in Panama by the brilliant Canopy family. They have 3 lodges spread around the country. The first of those was the Canopy Tower. I spent time there with their most famous guide, Carlos Bethencourt. This was once a US military base. Look at this. Transforming an old military radar tower into an eco-lodge was a genius idea. The rooms look out into the rainforest and the view from the top is pretty good too. The roof is 30 meters high, right up in the treetops. The tower's color scheme is down to an iconic creature you can see here every day.
A kill-build toucan. The designer who came up with the colours for the Canopy Tower got her ideas from seeing a toucan.
This one is also called the Rainbow Billed Toucan. It's clear why its colours are inspirational. Carlos and I accessed the forest using the famous Pipeline Road. Built for a fuel pipeline that was never put to use, the 17.5-kilometre track runs through Soberania National Park. Carlos is taking me to a bough that's a top spot for dancing.
I want to show you something. Look at that branch.
He's a red-capped mannequin, a bird that dances just like Michael Jackson used to.
There's a female.
She's a potential mate, and he starts to throw some shapes. He goes all out to impress her, with more fancy footwork and a signature move, the moonwalk.
A young male's joined in the dance. I'm astonished the dominant bird puts up with that.
Other than yellow leggings, he's drab like a female and won't mate until he's older. But practice makes perfect.
Nigel, Ladyback forest falcon.
Super stuff.
That's the reddest of the forest falcon.
He's away. That was magnificent, Carlos. I don't think the mannequin's going to continue dancing with him around.
We filmed at Canopy Lodge. Close by there's a conservation project helping to protect the Panamanian golden frog. You can help if you need one of these. Contact coolienation.com and you can get your own golden frog mask. Next stop is to the southwest of Panama City in the town of Anton Valley. This volcanic crater used to be home to a national treasure that's now extinct in the wild, the Panamanian golden frog. Thankfully, golden frogs are still with us, but only in captivity where they're safe from the deadly chytrid fungus. The El Val Amphibian Conservation Centre Foundation maintains a breeding population of chytrid-free golden frogs. They're fed on fruit flies, although these frogs will save them for later. Every precaution is taken to keep these priceless amphibians disease-free. The colony remains healthy and is breeding well, so it's hoped that one day golden frogs can be returned to the wild. Wouldn't that be brilliant? Golden frogs back in the wild, living out their lives along Panama's fast-flowing rivers and streams. They used to live in the grounds of Canopy Lodge. To see the other kinds of frogs still doing well here, I take a night safari with Mario Uriola, a local expert.
Great night for frogs.
They're croaking everywhere, aren't they, Mario?
Red-webbed tree frog.
Red-webbed tree frogs have red webbing on their toes and on their fingers. In the famous Darien Gap on the border with Colombia, the Canopy family have Canopy Camp. There's extraordinary wildlife in the grounds, but visitors go there to see harpy eagles. Naturalists come here from all over the world to see special creatures.
It's a Geoffroy's tamarin. Oh, you want to see it?
That's good.
Wow, look at how beautiful it is.
Geoffroy's tamarins are only found in Panama and a small part of Colombia.
Beautiful creatures.
Living in groups of 3 to 9, these squirrel-sized monkeys feed on fruits and insects.
Everybody on the monkey, right?
Yeah. Although there's many breaks in the day for grooming.
Oh, that's beyond cute.
This maintains bonds between tamarins in the group. Carlos and I visit the village of Pihi Basal. Harpies live in the rainforest here. Here's an eagle's eye view of the giant trees. But
that isn't how a harpy eagle sees the rainforest. They don't soar above it like other eagles. They live right amongst the canopy. So I thought, to get an idea of the harpy eagle's home, I'd climb high. Made it. If you're a harpy eagle, you certainly need a head for heights. We're on a wooden platform 25 metres up at the same level as a harpy eagle nest. High in the tree, there's Tagwa, a harpy eagle chick, 6 months old. She's flying very well. Although he hasn't quite mastered landing yet. Harpies are the most powerful eagles in the world. Their legs can be as thick as a child's arm. The 13-centimetre talons are longer than the claws of a grizzly bear. Tagwa's calling constantly. He must be really hungry. And he can see there's food on the way. There's an adult at the nest with prey. Tagwa has rocketed down. He's pushed the adult away. He's taken the prey from his dad. I'm sure it's the male. They're much more lightweight than the females. Tagwa is a fractious teenager. He's defending the food, mantling, putting his wings over the prey. That's such a thrilling memory. As well as rainforests, Panama has some idyllic islands on its Caribbean coast with unique wildlife. I visited Tranquilo Bay Eco Resort near the island of Bocas del Toro.
Welcome to Tranquilo Bay.
Looks idyllic. I can't wait to explore.
Dense coastal mangroves lead to lush rainforest and the lodge. There's even a lookout tower, which I'll climb tomorrow to watch the sunrise. But for now, I explore around the cabins.
There's a splendid group of insects. I always try to meet up with them when I come to the neotropics. They're found from Mexico south to Brazil. There's one feeding over there, an orchid bee. These are surely one of the most flamboyant bees in the world. Metallic green with a long tongue that's twice the length of their body. These glorious insects are called orchid bees because the males gather perfume from orchid flowers to attract females and pollinate the orchids in return. They really are living jewels.
Just ahead, mammals have come down from the treetops.
You never know what you're going to find at Tranquilo Bay. One of the guides saw them climbing down from this cecropia tree. They've settled inside here. It's a mother, three-fingered sloth and her baby. They are adorable. The baby sloth is less than a month old. Mum looks so pleased with herself. The baby's just learning to climb. He never goes far from her. Such an intimate moment. I will never forget this.
Truly adorable. I'm getting itchy feet now. I can't wait to get back to Central America. If you want to be on a mailing list and find out about adventures with me in Guatemala and Panama in 2021, go to nigelmarvinproductions@gmail.com or check out my website, nigelmarvin.com. Hopefully see you at Birdfair next year.